Alright, so we're doing a fourth degree polynomial and typing it in. You see all the buttons popping up. The polynomial is x to the fourth plus 4x cubed minus 13x squared minus 62x minus 56. Since this says x to the fourth, there's four places that we'll see that it crosses the x-axis. Unfortunately, only two are going to show up in the table, and I'll show you those two. Here is the graph. We have 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, and 4. But only two of them show up as integers. So we'll have to do some work, use synthetic division, and use some of the chapter 3 material to find the other two. So we found on the calculator the x-intercepts of for this polynomial to be -2 and 4. So how do we use the other parts of chapter 3 material to dissect the problem and find the other two zeros that aren't showing up on our table? Well, we use synthetic division. I'll put in -2 here. It doesn't matter if we use the 4 first or the -2. And I'm going to put the coefficients down. We need a spot for each of the x values. This is the x to the fourth, x cubed, x squared. The coefficient for x would be -62. And then the coefficient for the number is just what it is, -56. So I have this set up. This is my division. Drop the first one. Now do -2 times 1, get -2. 4 minus 2 is 2. -2 times -2 is -4. I get -17. Now -2 times -17 is 34. I add that to -62 and I get -28. -2 times -28 is +56, where I get a 0. Remember, you should always get a 0 remainder if this is a 0. It's always going to work out that way. So x-intercept gives you a 0 remainder, hence it's called a 0. So now we're going to take these new numbers, this is the depressed equation, so let me just write it down here. So here's 4, and I have 1, 2, -17, and -28. All right, let me go through this quickly. Drop the 1, I get 4 times 1 is 4, I get 6. 4 times 6 is 24. Add it to -17, and I'm going to get a 7. Then 4 times 7 is 28, and we get a 0. All right, so here are my values. So now I've done the synthetic division twice. This is now x squared plus 6x plus 7, which means we can use this to, we try and factor it, we can't, but we need to use the quadratic formula to solve the rest of this. So here is our quadratic formula. So I paused the video a little bit and just filled this in. I put everything in. Here is the 6 for B. 6 squared minus 4 times A times C. A is 1, C is 7. So we end up getting 36 minus 28 in, under the radical, which gives us 8. That can be reduced to -6 plus or minus 2 square roots of 2 over 2. So our final last two zeros are -3 plus or minus the square root of 2, because I have to make sure to put this 2 under the -6 and under that. So here's my other 2. Thank you.